A very good morning, children. As you know that we have already completed a few of your chapters from both the two books, that is microeconomics as well as statistics for economics. In statistics for economics, we were able to complete the introduction, that is chapter first, and the collection of data. As from the definition we proceeded, and the singular definition of statistics itself said that it is collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and of data. The second part, that is organization of data, is what we are going to start off with today. You see, what organization is nothing but you go to a library, you want to find a particular book, and that book is not available in the way you want it. That means it is not in a particular section. If there is no dedicated section for that very particular book, you will feel puzzled, jumbled. We have to look for that book. So that's where a librarian comes into context. And what they do, they usually put the books in different sections. Like they will put mathematics section, economics section, then business section, and political science, then history, then physics, then chemistry. They will put the books in different sections. Not only that, let us take the English. The English section will be made in such a way so that you are able to find out different segments of English books, such as your prose, your poetry, your novels, your journals, and other related things. So that means we put things in an order so that we may find them and we may use them to find out the things useful. We put them in an order. That saves our time. It's obvious. That's what is going to help us. That's what is going to ease our things. That's what we do with the data, which is the raw information. We collect from different sources that we learned in the last chapter. Different types of data we learned in the last chapter. Then we want to put it in an order. We have to put it in an order because our data is in a raw form. We have to put it in an order to suit our field of inquiry. That is what I mean here. Suiting the field of inquiry simply means for what you had collected that very particular data. Now that's where the organization comes into being. I'll switch to the board now so that we may demonstrate what we are talking about. So this is your unit 3rd, that is organization of data. So dear students, before we proceed with the definition and other related things, what we will do here is that we will try to understand it in a different way so that it may help us to be of any use in the days to come. See, I have made a little arrangement for you people here. If you can look at this very picture, what you will find is that this guy is trying to understand or trying to look for something, or he is trying to make a group of the things. But what is he is finding? He is finding things put in a jumbled way. See, art, mathematics, science, English, mathematics, art, English, mathematics, so on and so forth. But he wants to put the things in a very particular manner. If he is able to put the things in a particular manner, let us say what he will do. Before I go to the definition, I am making you to understand what organization is all about. What he will do, he will put it in a particular series. Let us say he will take alphabetic shape into consideration. He won't take art. We have here art, we have here art, we have here all as well, here as well. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places we have art only. What he will do? He will put it in a particular series. Let us say he will put first art. Then he will use, let us say, he will put up the English. It is English here, here, one more time. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 times we have English only, so on and so forth. He is going to put it in this very particular manner. And he found art 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So he will write it here like I found art, or art books, or 6 art books. I found 4 English books, so on and so forth. He will do it like that. That is what we mean by organization. He is organizing the things. Organization of data refers to the arrangement of figures in such a form that comparison of the mass of similar data may be facilitated. That is what he is doing. He is facilitating, and further analysis may be possible. That is what is the definition. We will come to the definition later on. But when he is able to do this process, how he will do it? He will do it like the above figure in left hand side corner, which I am indicating with a white arrow. When we put different pieces of information together, we are able to solve a puzzle. That means we are able to give an answer to any of the problems. So by solving this puzzle, you see this whole the area from the frontal side is complete. This lady is looking for a place where to put this very puzzle, and it is obvious that this very puzzle must be belonging here, and that is what we mean by organization. And they are able to complete or solve a particular puzzle. Fine. Now when you are able to do all this, then only it is possible that you will enjoy the bliss. Enjoying the bliss means your desk here is neat and clean. It is what is your field of inquiry, which is neat and clean. You are able to answer anything, anytime, anywhere with any tool. That is what is important, that you must be ready with everything. See here, he is able to check the things properly on time, and that is what is saving his time. So guys, this is what is the importance of organization. Now let us begin from the base where we started, that what organization is. Here you can look at your screen. I have given a definition, and this definition says all what we were talking about. Organization of data refers to the arrangement of figures. You can see what it is, arrangement of figures. These figures are of importance to us. That is what statistics is all about. In such a form that comparison, second thing, arrangement, what was the very first thing, of mass of similar data. You see, mass of similar data. Here figure comes into being. Here similar data we are talking about. That means singular and plural sense may be facilitated, and further analysis may be possible. This is what is the ultimate aim of ours, to analyze the things in a way so that we may understand what we are talking about. So classification of data or organization of data, these are both the two names for the same coin, or the faces of the same coin. What I am talking about, organization where you organize the things, or classification where you classify things. We did it in the previous chapter, what classification means. Classification, in when you classify the things to pertaining to certain groups. That's what the guy was doing. He was classifying art components into art, mathematics components into mathematics, science components into science. And that is why classification and organization are sometimes interchangeably used, though they have different meaning. Okay, So classification of data is the process, organization as well as process of grouping. You must know it first before we proceed. Data according to their characteristics. Okay, and it is known as classification of data. Classification data is the process of grouping data according to their characteristics. Art, they had different characteristics, same characteristics. Then English, different, but this was grouped according to certain characteristics. Okay, so why we classify? You see, organization is only possible when we classify. The question here comes into being now is why we classify. That is, we can take it like a topic of yours, objectives of classification. Got it? Objectives of classification. So after understanding the basic meaning of organization of data, we will come to the objectives of classification. Objectives of classification can be summed up in different categories, but our main objective to organize, to classify the data is to simplify what? Complex data. Got it? The data we have here is in a complex form. It's not easy for us to make any use of this whole data, but we simplify it. We simplify our complex data for facilitate understanding. Okay, now you are able to understand what we are talking about. C or third will be to facilitate, again what? Comparison. Okay, we do all these very things for comparison of variable x with variable y, impact of variable x on variable y. Okay, a change in variable y due to variable x or vice versa. So that is only possible. Okay, the growth of wheat in state A and the growth of wheat in state B would be compared only when we have data relating to state A and state B. And when we have data related to state A and state B and it is classified or organized in a very particular manner, it will facilitate our comparison. We will be able to say which state is growing more of the wheat and less of the other things. Got it? So D or fourth will be to make analysis. To make analysis and interpretation. Easy. What are these two words? We have already dealt with what is analysis of data and what is interpretation of data. That is what for what we do each and everything. When data is in a very particular shape, okay, then only we will be able to analyze the things and then interpret something. Let us revert back to our example here. Here the data is being analyzed by these two guys, Mr. X and Miss Y. They are classifying data due to on the basis of their characteristics, and they are analyzing where to put which particular block. Then finally they both or we all, whosoever will look at this very puzzle, will be able to interpret. What they will be able to interpret? Will be able to interpret that it is a human skull figure or human head. It is the shape of a human head. This is the interpretation. Okay, got it? So After interpretation of the data, what we will do, we will talk of one more thing, that is to arrange and put the data according to their common characteristics. You know what we can do? We can make point number 5 as point number 4 and point number 4 as point number 5 as well. But if we keep it in the same way, there is no harm, no marks will be deducted, there is no problem, because we do it all to arrange and put the data according to their common characteristics. It is some way, somehow important and the most usual thing, that we will put the things in according to their characteristics. Just we were talking about this boy, very particular boy, who is looking at a jumbled group of subjects and trying to classify them according to their characteristics. That's what I was making you understand. So this means we were talking about the objectives of classification. You see guys, you do not have to talk of objectives of classification only. What is important for organization of data in statistics is to look at this very important, most important thing.